All right, everyone, welcome back to the devlog series for the game about a photographer joining an expedition to the end of the world. Let's start from the beginning. Recently, I got married, and for our honeymoon, my wife and I went hiking in Argentina. Since I'm a hobbyist photographer, I brought along my camera. Here are some photos I like from that trip. As you can see, these are landscape photos, and that's because whenever I hike and I get to see these views, I get this peace of mind that I really want to be able to look back on. And while I was taking all these photos, I was thinking to myself, what a great interactive experience. I think that would be really cool as a mechanic in a game. Maybe someone should make that game. But that's just a mechanic. It's not a game yet. What I needed was a story. And since this was happening while we were in Ushuaia, which is at the end of the world, I immediately thought about Sir Ernest Shackleton. In 1914, Shackleton led an expedition to Antarctica in an attempt to make the first land crossing across the Antarctic continent. They set sail aboard the Endurance, which was a wooden ship, and they ran into some trouble. They got iced in and the ship was stuck. They were stranded and they survived on the ice for 2 years before making an escape attempt. The ship itself had already been crushed by the ice, but they had their lifeboats. And in those lifeboats, they crossed the Drake Passage, which is said to have the most dangerous waters in the world. And, spoiler alert, they made it back. Shackleton managed to bring back all 27 of his crew members alive. There's actually a book about this. It's made up of interviews with the crew members and their diaries. It's a great book, and I highly recommend you go read it. And to spice things up, we can add an element of mystery. Maybe you'll have to go find out what happened to a previous expedition that went missing, and that sounds like a plot for our game. The game will have 3 main systems. The first one is obviously a camera system, since the player needs to be able to take snapshots of the world. That camera system will have to communicate with some kind of quest system that will progress the plot, and we'll need a dialogue system to help the player connect with the story through the quests. With all that in mind, I fired up Unreal Engine and got to work. To start things out, I first of all wanted some placeholder camera to work with. If we hop into the Unreal Engine marketplace, we can see that all of the assets from the game What Remains of Edith Finch are available. And if we check out specifically the twins room and take a closer look, we can see a camera. And here it is inside the engine. I think it looks great. Now let's get it to actually do something. Alright, here's a map I use for testing purposes. As you can see, we have ourselves. We are a floating camera. We have a wall, and we have a cube. The special thing about the cube, rather than the wall, is that the cube is photographable. That means that if the camera takes a picture of this cube, we can get some data about the cube. Let's see this in action. Alright, I assumed control of the camera. As you can see, we really are just a floating camera. And if I look down the viewfinder and I take a photo of the wall, we get the nice sound effect, but nothing happens. If I turn the corner and I take a photo of the cube, we can see that it says photo cube in the top left corner there. That's because the camera recognized that in its line of sight, it can see something photographable. Next up, quest system. I got the base for the quest system from this playlist on YouTube from a guy called Ryan Laley. He has a really nice YouTube channel. He has a lot of Unreal tutorials. I really recommend you go watch him. And in this playlist tutorial, you set up your quests using Unreal's data tables, meaning that later I'll be able to import them from an external file, which will just be really convenient. And for the dialogue, I'm sort of freehanding it and keeping it as basic as I can for now. So that concludes the 3 systems and brings us to this map that you saw at the beginning of the video. This is the grounds map, also from Edith Finch, and I want to use it for our pre-alpha. When I say pre-alpha, I mean a release of the game where the game's systems aren't complete yet, which is exactly where we are. And it's also, I think, the best place to start collecting real feedback from real people. I even think I'm a couple of weeks overdue. And here it is, version 0.0.1 of the game up on itch.io. Link will be in the description below. For this pre-alpha release version, you can expect a whopping 15 seconds of gameplay, and here are the features it includes. I know it's not a lot, I know it's very basic, but that's why I think this is the best point to get it out to you guys, so that I can start getting feedback as early as I possibly can, and it can be about anything. I don't know, is the walking speed good enough? Is looking down the viewfinder smooth enough? Anything really. The pre-alpha is open. All you have to do is download this zip file, extract it and run it, and that will be the game. For those of you who do that, it would be really cool if you go tell me about it in the Discord server. Link is in the description. And on a more personal note, I know a lot of you guys watching are friends and family. So if you're watching and you're not, first of all, welcome. But more importantly, I'm dying to know how you found me. If you're watching this video and we don't know each other, and it's not, a couple of years in the future and I'm already super famous, then please reach out to me. It would really help me to know how you got to this video and also what is your unbiased opinion of the game. With all that said and done, don't forget to do all the good YouTube stuff of the like and subscribe and the bell. And also, let me know down here in the comments or in the Discord what you thought of the video. Would you prefer it if I focus more on the technical side or on the process side? Let me know. Okay, I can't wait to hear what you guys think of the pre-alpha. Expect more good things, and I'll see you next time.